Maybe you already have a BigCommerce website, or you're thinking about migrating to a BigCommerce website, but in order to optimize your website, you need to leverage software that's outside of the BigCommerce environment. If this is a scenario you're in, you're going to need a BigCommerce integration. That's what we're going to talk about today in this video. So stay tuned. Let's get into it. What really is a BigCommerce integration? And honestly, it's pretty simple. You see, BigCommerce has a bunch of great native features that you can leverage for your e-commerce website. But every once in a while, you might want to leverage software that lives outside of the BigCommerce native environment, or even outside of the App Store that they offer. And so if you want to leverage that software, you need to create an integration. That way you can plug in that functionality to your website. And BigCommerce makes this easy, thankfully, so it's not too hard to do, but you will need to work with somebody who's experienced and knows how to do this, whether it's an internal team or an external team. You might be wondering, how does a BigCommerce integration work? A BigCommerce integration works through the use of APIs or webhooks to establish a connection between your BigCommerce site and the external software. Now, there's kind of two ways you can go about setting these up. First off is that a lot of external software have companies that have already created sets of connections, whether it be APIs or webhooks, that you can then easily use to connect to your BigCommerce account. In other scenarios, you might need to create a custom set of connections, if not many other BigCommerce companies have connected to that software before. Either of these scenarios, it's going to be best to reach out to a BigCommerce agency partner or a BigCommerce tech partner so they can help you through this process. As you look into BigCommerce integrations, there's a couple of key things to keep in mind as you research and look into what integrations might be right for you. The first thing to keep in mind is that for popular external software, usually there's a couple of different integration options already made out there that you could choose to go with. And that means a BigCommerce agency tech partner has created those connections and you could choose to partner with them. But it's important to note that not all integrations are built the same. So we suggest that you ask these partners for a demo of the product and talk through some of the specifics so you know exactly what you're getting if you choose to go with that integration. A second thing to keep in mind is that the data which flows through these integrations does not always flow at the same rate. For example, you might be using an ERP software where you need an integration that has real-time updates to orders that go through your BigCommerce website to your ERP. Not all integrations are built that way. So make sure that you're vetting it out with your integration partner or whoever you're working with to make sure that you're getting what you need for the success of your website. Third thing to keep in mind when you're looking at integrations would be the cost of integrations. And this can really vary depending upon the integration you're looking at. Sometimes there's a flat annual fee for an integration. Other times there's a monthly fee. And in addition to those, usually there's a startup fee where you might pay for the company to come in and install the integrations on your website to make sure that the flows are set up correctly from day one. And sometimes other companies will also have maintenance fees where there might be an additional fee annually or monthly, depending upon how much maintenance you want on your account. And that can be really helpful because as platforms change, whether it's the external software or BigCommerce, sometimes the integrations need to flow a little bit differently depending on software updates and platform updates that come out. So it's not a bad idea to have an agreement where you have an integration company or a BigCommerce agency partner look at your integrations periodically to make sure that they're set up correctly and all the data is flowing in the right direction. And here at Anchor Group, we work a lot with BigCommerce and NetSuite. And NetSuite is an Oracle product that many BigCommerce companies out there leverage. Now, unlike a baseball cap, there's not a one-size-fits-all approach to the NetSuite BigCommerce connector. There's a couple of options that are already out there on the market, but it's really in your best interest to vet them out to make sure you pick the one that's going to work best for your situation. Because as I previously mentioned, not all the flows are the same in each option. So depending upon your business use case, one might be more favorable over the other. Additionally, there's a cost difference to them. So depending upon what you need, you might need to pay more for it. Otherwise, you might be able to use an integration that's more cost conscious depending on the needs of your business. So if you're looking for a BigCommerce NetSuite connection, you can simply do the research on your own, or you can go ahead and reach out to us. We're happy to help you through the process to make sure that you are picking the right connection for your use case. Another thing that's important to consider when you are exploring integrations would be how long does it take to implement the integration, especially if your business is already live and a lot of your business hinges on the success of your integration connections. And the integrations are really going to depend on the complexity of the integration from your BigCommerce account to the external software. Usually, a BigCommerce integration is not as easy as clicking a couple of buttons. There usually is some development work from BigCommerce developers that need to take place for the integration. Depending upon the size and complexity of the external software, that time range could vary, but usually when we talk about integrations, we talk in weeks, not months. It also depends on the software that you're integrating into BigCommerce, how built out that software is. Because as part of integration, you really have to time up the trains accordingly, right? Your BigCommerce account needs to be built out in the correct ways, and the software from the integration needs to also be built out. So that's really what timing comes down to, is how closely can you get both of those built out in order to be able to integrate them. And that's a 30,000 foot view of BigCommerce integrations. Now, here's the deal. Every e-commerce website is unique, yours included. So if you have specific questions about what integrations might apply to you, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. We want to make sure you're set up for success on BigCommerce from day one. And if there's something we didn't answer in this video about BigCommerce integrations, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below, and make sure you check the video notes for any helpful links or information on BigCommerce integration. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, where we have more videos on BigCommerce and e-commerce solutions. And until next time, keep on chasing greatness. I'll see you in the next video.